If you're listening, yeah.
I've got a recording of my own voice to send me to sleep.
Oh, I bet people do.
Hopefully. Anyhow, welcome to the Allegedly Thriving podcast, the podcast where we ask whether you are thriving or merely surviving this wonderful world of small businesses in the Northeast.
That sounded very professional.
I know, I don't know where it came from.
That was very good. Oh, yes.
No, I mean, for anybody who's listening, because we're not recording it so no one's watching, your face was just shocked there that I could just roll that off.
Horror. I'm Izzy.
I'm Martin. Yeah, we always forget that. I think this is episode 8, and if you've managed to make it this far, thank you, congratulations, and what are you thinking?
Other help and support is available.
Yeah.
Oh.
We probably need to start a helpline.
I was going to say, helpline is 0800, don't call us.
Maybe we need a little bit at the end of every episode that says, if you've been affected by any of the things that have been mentioned in this podcast.
Yeah. If you need actual... These aren't the voices in your head, even though they sound like it. This is what I live with, and this is what you live with on a daily basis. So
anyway,
are you thriving this week or are you surviving?
Well, I would like to ask you that question first because you keep asking me first, and every time I just go on thriving.
Because I'm furiously trying to pace the conversation.
I want to go for the more interesting answer, which is whether you are thriving or surviving. Because I'm just thriving because I'm always thriving.
I want you to guess: am I thriving or surviving?
I would like to think that you're thriving because I'm an optimist.
I am.
Hey!
For the first time in what feels like months, I actually am. I feel this week.
Just 2 seconds. Thank you. I'm going to sit there and put applause over that for the sheer hell of it.
Literally. Thank God
The great thing is I said 2 seconds and made you pause on something that I could just cut and put. But yeah.
So you asked me if I'm thriving or surviving, I was thriving until I had to do this podcast with you. I am thriving.
Is it hot in here?
I was going to say, you can't see the look on my face if you're listening to this. I am thriving.
Yes.
Because what I was worried about last week was a humongous workload being dropped on my head and feeling completely out of my depth. But we have just had the Easter break. And Jesus Christ, I know he was crucified, but Jesus Christ, it's good for the soul to have some time off. Like, to literally have 5 days off I had where I didn't think about work. And work did sometimes creep into my brain. And I was like, no, we're off. And other people being off as well. Not just me, but like the whole world was off. So, the whole Christian-facing world was off celebrating Easter. That was the reset I needed. So I've come back and the workload is going to be big, but not straight away.
I think it is good to sometimes have a break of a few days where you can just rest, relax, focus on what's important, which is family, friends, and basically enjoying the one life you've got and not spending it all working. But I think it helps rebuild that mental fortitude. So when you come in, you can then face the same problem with a new light, a new why. Like
there were certain things that over the weekend I was like, because I did a long stint after we recorded our last one on the run up to the time off going, if I get it all done now, at least I can turn my brain off. But there were parts of what I didn't do last week where I thought, oh shit, I'm going to feel terrible and I'm going to think about this all weekend and whatever it may be. And then I came in yesterday and did the tasks that were hanging over me. Not hanging over me, but I knew were the first thing on my list that filled me with a bit of Sunday night dread on Monday morning sort of thing. But coming in yesterday, I did those tasks. They were pretty painless, felt pretty good, had some very good feedback from a client, and generally it was, and because it's Easter holidays, it's pretty quiet. So I'm not being inundated with emails. It was like a nice soft return, which I did quite like. And that's what I've needed. I've needed other people to be off, because I think when you're a business owner, you give up the 9 to 5 for the 24/7 sort of thing. But what happens is that people, there's almost like you are, because it's in the best interests of your business, you are available all the time for emails, for WhatsApps, for questions, for people to constantly be bombarding you with information, because that's the kind of approachableness that you've wanted to have, and then you regret it. What happens is that when other people are off, that gives me a chance to breathe again, because I know that I'm not going to have all those people that have had it on their list to contact me to do it the first day they're back, which is normally what happens every Monday morning. Everyone who I have been, as a business owner, I am on someone's list everywhere. Hopefully not a hit list, but I am on someone's list everywhere. Someone knows they have to contact me or email me or ask for a thing or whatever, but I'm glad I'm not on anyone's list for a bit, if that makes sense. Because that's the bit that's overwhelming, is not so much the me doing the contacting, it's being contacted.
See, I spent most of the weekend, first of all, completely discombobulated, because
yeah, you texted me going, what day is it?
Yeah, because it was a bank holiday Friday, but in my head it was like a Saturday, because we were doing the things you do on a Saturday, because it was a bank holiday Friday and you weren't working, which meant then Saturday was completely messed up. And by the time I got to Monday, I didn't have a clue what I was doing.
I quite like it, though.
Oh, I was a bit confused.
It was nice. Although I did accidentally nearly book a soft play session for Saturday, thinking it was Saturday, and it was actually Friday, and I would have gone a day early.
Wait, see, I
for my daughter, not for me.
That's what you say. Do they give you special shoes for the soft play?
No, but some of them you get special socks, which I'm not really that keen on, because the idea of like, why do I need the special socks? And then that gets me thinking of all these horrible, horrible things, and I don't want to unthink them.
So I experienced something over the weekend which is still relatively new to me. It's business related, don't worry. That's where I'm getting there. So, trying to build up a fledgling photography business, trying to sit there and go out to clients. My approach is not very aggressive, because I have the luxury of a bit of a secondary income. So I can establish long-term relationships before the money starts coming in. I'm not necessarily that,
your life doesn't
money focused at this point in time. So I'm doing a lot of speculative conversations with people. I'm trying to sit there and hone my products about how I approach portrait sessions, those sorts of things. So I had a really good meeting with somebody on Thursday of last week, and I sent a bunch of information across, and I didn't get a reply. Now, this shouldn't have bothered me, because it was bank holiday weekend, and that's absolutely fine. I shouldn't have expected a reply until Monday. But inside my head, Tuesday. But inside my head, there was a little voice. It's that little voice, and you'll know this voice well. It's that voice that goes, he must have read it by now.
He hates you.
Does he not like me? I thought it went really well. Oh, maybe I've misread it entirely. Oh God. Oh, and then the other part of me.
The teenage girl waiting by the phone, twiddling her finger.
100%. Yeah. And then the other part of me was going, no, don't be daft. It's bank holiday. I'll be an idiot. But I think there's that insecurity level, especially when you're starting out, when you're confident in your ability to do the job, but you're still building that confidence in communicating that with people, with getting people on board with what you're trying to do, with basically working with them, getting a client.
Yeah.
And, I'm at the early stages of doing that. So, yeah, I was very much, is he going to take me to the prom?
Oh, no.
Type thing.
Yeah. Is he going to call me?
And then, thankfully, he actually messaged on the Saturday saying, I thought you hadn't messaged. And then I looked here and I hadn't seen them and stuff. And I was like, yes.
Did you do a little woohoo?
It was a weight lifted. But I need to look back on that in the way that I do look at things from an external third party. I kind of hover above my own shoulders and go, what an idiot, what are you doing? I did have a good, long, hard word with myself, as if to say, don't be an idiot.
Well, yeah, but then also it's natural, because you put your heart and soul into things, but then I have had years and years and years and years and years of that feeling, and
does it get better?
No, and but you're so now it's like, because it happens quite a lot where people get excited about what you do, they get excited about the prospect of working with you, and then you go on to the thorny subject of money, and then suddenly they ghost you. I've been ghosted a lot, and most business owners have, where you get used to that process where you're like, oh, well, whatever, sod and move on. And that you get used to the rejection in a weird way, and you kind of just go, oh, well, next one, keep going. And some of them hurt, but I think that what I also do is when I send that email or whatever with like the quote and stuff, and I'm there going like, oh, will he call me back sort of thing, is that I think about myself when I'm doing my emails, and I think about what I'm like with my communication, which is the days that I'm off, which are weekdays with my daughter. I don't put an out of office on. So people will email me on the Thursday and I probably won't respond until I'm back at work. But that's purely because I'm there with my daughter and that's it. Like, but they might be sat there going, why isn't she responding? Why isn't she doing this?
So why don't you have an out of office?
Because I know that if it's something urgent enough, I will respond straight away because it's on my phone. But at the same time, out of office wise, I'm always, I have no boundaries insofar as anyone can reach me at any point. And if it's deemed, if basically it is, I want to book this project right now, can I work with you? I'll be like, I will drop Esme on the floor, grab my phone and respond straight away. If it's could you sort this? I'll be like, right, okay. Mentally that's on the to-do list for next week, but I'm not going to respond. But they might be sat there going, oh, will she, won't she? They might be on edge like I am. So I've started to think of it like, oh, there's a million different reasons why a person may not look at your email straight away. Often it's because they've got so much going on and I'm not that important.
Have you ever delivered a quote face to face?
In what respect?
As in, you've gone away, you've put the quote together, not email it, have a call.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom call.
Oh, no, I've done face to face, like literally sat in the same room.
Yeah, and how does that go?
It's a lot. It's quite funny because the time that I'm thinking about was for a council, and it was to do a project for them, and we went in and it was about $5,000, I think the amount was, and that was basically us going. You don't know what people's budgets are, particularly when it's like public money and stuff. So we were sort of going, well, that's actually realistically. We were thinking they're going to push us back on this and whatever. And we went in and we said, so for us to do this project, it will be $5,000 and something. I can't remember what it was. And their immediate response, literally within about a millisecond, you could see all their faces going, oh, that's loads cheaper than we thought it was going to be. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. We were like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I think
we've been lowballed. Damn it.
I think my dad's response immediately was, can I go out and come back in? Because but we were like going in this naive idea of, oh my God, they're going to push back on that. And they were like, brilliant. I probably lost $5,000 there and then. I could have charged 10 and probably got away with it. So quoting in person, I only ever give ballparks now. Because if someone says, oh, before you send the quote, can you give me a rough idea of how much it's going to be? I'll say, oh, yeah, you're looking between the region of 1,000 and 20,000 sort of thing.
No, I think what I meant was, you've sent the email with the fully fleshed out quote and the number at the bottom. And that's when you're saying you get ghosted and people just don't come back and stuff like that. Have you ever just thought, let's do that face to face. Let's do a Zoom call. I'm here. I've got your quote. I'm going to tell you how much it's going to cost.
No.
Do it face to face because that instantly puts you in a position of authority. But and it puts them in a position of, oh, I'm now facing this person. So
it only really matters when it's in writing, though. So
no, I get that.
People can verbally say everything till the cows come home, but as soon as you send an email and say, "Hey, can you just confirm you're happy with this?" Suddenly, it's like, or you get the spurious excuses of, "Oh, I'm just about to take some leave," or "Oh, someone's just left," and "Oh, we're going in a different direction," or "Oh," it's like, it's basically. Running a business or selling is a bit like dating in the sense that a lot of people are too scared to dump you without being brutally honest. And a lot of people are scared to make the first move. A lot of people are scared to talk about stuff because it's like, oh, what if I say the wrong thing and it scares them off? Like, it's very much that. And unless you've got two people on either side who are both up for it and are seriously involved and ready, it's never going to work.
I think we've all had that. When I approached somebody to say, I want to take your photograph a couple of weeks ago. And it was a big networking event. And I went up to them and said, I want to take your photograph. And their first response was, with my clothes on or my clothes off? And then
what did you say?
I just looked at them. I was like, depends. I don't mind. What, I'm not really sure.
You say, for my private collection.
But I spoke to them about a week later and they were just like, that's what happens with my face. Sometimes my brain mouth barrier just disappears and I just blurt this stuff out. And I was like, and you're the kind of person that I like, because I like people who do that, who just sit there and go, the verbal diarrhea comes out and honesty comes out.
Oh, yeah.
And that was obviously the first thing they thought of. And I thought, that's brilliant, because I think that's hilarious.
Yeah,
I think it's really funny that their brain instantly went there. You know what I mean? And like, I'll try boudoir photos. That's fine, you know?
It reminds me of when, because my brother is very similar to that insofar as he does things and says things that are reserved purely for like sitcom characters from like the 90s. One of them was when me and him used to work doing wedding videos, which is something I will never do again because wedding videos are stressful. We would go to wedding fairs together and not like to shop for each other, but like to sell wedding videos.
That was just a visceral reaction to the idea of a wedding fair.
They're stressful, but there's all people selling like their wares in terms of like, oh, here's all the cupcakes we do. Here's a donut board. Here's a photography booth. Here's this, here's that. And people who are getting married shop around and go, oh, I'll book you to do my wedding cake. I'll book you to do my photography, whatever it may be. There was one where they were selling these cupcakes where they like printed photos of the bride and groom and they had them on like paper on the cupcake. And my brother is the kind of person, a bit like me, will go straight for a free food sample and not really pay attention to what the sales pitch is. So he took one of the cupcakes that had like a photo on the top and was like, had it basically shoved in his gob to a point where it was probably like earth. And they said, oh yeah, well we have we print photos of the people and put them on top of the cake, and I was like nodding along politely, and my brother with a mouthful of cupcake went, "Is the paper edible?" Like spraying like cupcake everywhere as if he'd just been poisoned by these cupcake people, and they looked at him like, well, yeah, and he was like, oh good, and literally was like had the whole thing in his mouth, and I was like, Tom, what are you doing? Stop it. Like, and that just reminded me of that where you're like, well, of course it is, you idiot.
Yeah, I think a wedding terrifies me. I think a lot of photographers start in weddings and they kind of become wedding photographers because there's really good money in it, right? A good wedding photographer is worth their weight in gold because they will do a hell of a job, and it's not an easy job. For me, that is way too much responsibility and way too much stress. Mm-hmm. I do not want to be dealing with a million prima donnas on their special day. It would just, the whole thing would do my nut in.
It's not even that. It's more that every wedding is the same. No matter how hard people try to make them different, they are all the same. Every single one. I mean, through different filmmakers that I've worked with and people that I know who've worked in the wedding industry, the stories. Whoa. There's some big stuff.
I mean, for context, my first wedding, we went to Turkey with a very select few members of the family, so it was a small wedding. And my second wedding, we eloped, so it was just the two of us, and we went to Devon.
What about your third?
Well, Jane's still going fine, so, you know, it's all good. I mean, we're off to Devon in 2 weeks' time to celebrate our third wedding anniversary.
Is it a place on earth?
Yes, it is.
Good.
Devon knows how they make it so creamy.
Oh, I don't even know how to top that.
I think that's one apiece.
Oh, that is... Oh, no, he's killed me.
Yes, apparently I have.
That was funny.
But yeah, for the context, I've never been a wedding-y person.
No.
I don't particularly like going to them as a guest. I find them...
Just as a groom.
Yeah. I find them quite annoying.
I'd like to go to some as a guest versus being part of the wedding. All the weddings I've been to have either been my own or like being part of the wedding party, like being the best man at my brother's wedding, being like part of it. So you have to be in it and do the things and plan the things. Yeah. And like I planned my brother's stag do, best stag do anyone's ever been on, because hey, I did a good job there. But like doing the speech, I had to like close the speeches and stuff, and like the pressure, I panicked and did a poem. Which,
off by heart, or
no? I wrote a poem about my brother and stuff, and
do you remember it?
No, but what I do remember is that there was my brother, when he was about 9, got when you used to go to Build-A-Bear and get an animal, and then you would record a voice or a sound or something, you press it and it works. My auntie had a dog stuffed like a toy plushy dog from Build-A-Bear that my brother did when he was about 9. where he recorded, "I am King Droopy, all bow."
King Droopy.
All bow, like
Nice.
that, with his little high-pitched voice. And I hid it from everyone. And then at the end of the poem, I said, and something, 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 and now. I held up the dog, put the mic to it, and then King Droopy had the final
Oh,
line.
brilliant.
And then the final line of my best man speech was my brother, aged like 9, going, "I am King Droopy, all bow."
That's amazing.
I know, and it got a huge riotous applause. What?
I said, that's amazing. And then I noticed it. But no, the
Was
Build-A-Bear.
that because you weren't really listening and you were just thinking about what to say next?
It was, yes.
Okay, see?
You
know how it feels.
I've learned from the best.
That's amazing.
So the Build-A-Bear, I remember Build-A-Bear. I remember going to Build-A-Bear with a girlfriend at the time in the early noughties, and being forced to kiss a heart and make wishes and all of this stuff against my will. I did not want to do any of this. And I'm
She's got
going
it
in
somewhere
and it's
now.
happening. And then it gets to the point where everything's being shoved in the bear and they start filling the bear. And
Yeah,
honest to God,
they
the
really
experience of watching
They
the-
unceremoniously get that pedal, don't they? And they sort of
it's actually quite traumatic.
they stuff it.
Well, it's just like a giant hypodermic needle, and
Yeah,
they
and
just
they
sit there and
shove it
go,
up
shove it in. They fill one leg, and then the next
Yeah,
leg,
yeah.
and then the arms, and and then the head.
Yeah.
And you're watching them do this, and because it's their 1700th of the day, it's like all done nice
Yeah.
and quick.
Oh no, but have you been recently?
No,
Because now you have to do all the filling stuff, and then you have to do a birth certificate. So you have to fill in their details on a screen and type in their name. And,
utter bollocks.
and then you go into the little wardrobe thing where you get to pick their clothes, which are like more expensive than adult clothes, I would argue.
Yeah.
But I take Esme on her birthday because when it's your birthday and you're going to Build-A-Bear, you pay your age for a teddy bear. And she's obviously 3, and last year she was 2, so it's cost me £5 in total. But I feel like the older she's getting, the more I'm going to get fleeced. Because imagine going in now at your age, it cost a fortune.
Yes, but I'm 45 and I wouldn't go in to Build-A-Bear.
But I'd love to have someone who's 45 going into Build-A-Bear and going, "Can I pay my age?" Just paying £45 for a teddy bear.
So there.
I just don't know when it stops being good value. It's probably 10, maybe 15. That it stops being like.
I don't know.
worth
It depends. You can get some very nice bears, like proper bears.
Yeah.
They get quite spenny. There's a place called Whitney. That's it. Bears of Whitney in Gloucestershire.
Oh, and there's
Where
Stife as
they're
well,
all
isn't there?
yeah, where they're all handmade. And Jane's got a Whitney bear because we got one when we got married. We went past, so we're probably going to try and go past and get her another
Aw.
one because little Sam the bear's feeling a bit lonely on her own. But you know they are £100 bears.
Yeah, but people, obviously, people, you like, people are into it. Like,
Yeah.
you can collect
yeah.
a lot of them.
And the shop is appointment only in the shop. I know, you've got to make an
Whoa.
appointment. Or you just do what we do and turn up and they let you in anyway. But technically it's appointment only. And then you walk in and it's a bit creepy because...
Are they all staring at you?
Yes, they're all beady eyes. Literally beady eyes. And they're just watching you.
Yeah.
And the eyes obviously follow you around the store.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever collected?
Oh, I haven't really been much of a collector.
Oh.
I've got like comics from when I was in my early years and stuff like that. I've still got some of those, and I've kept a load of stuff from my childhood that I'm now slowly farming off to my nephews.
So what's something that you want to collect but you're too embarrassed and you'll worry people will judge you?
I'm not really a collector.
Oh.
I can't. No, I'm sorry. I can't off the top of my head think of something that I would collect. I mean, I'd probably things like snail shells that are interesting, or just natural stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
as a kid, I was the kind of person. I was the kind of kid who'd like find an interesting stick and keep it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't told you about Mickey Shin.
Mickey Shin.
Mickey Shin.
Mickey Shin.
Mickey Shin. When I was about 4 or 3, my parents, before my dad got food poisoning, used to like mussels, like the shellfish mussels.
Yeah.
Not just like bodybuilders. My parents used to like mussels, and my mum would make them with all these lovely butters and all of that stuff. So it was like a big thing in my childhood that my parents for dinner on like a Friday night would have like a bottle of wine normally and like a plate of mussels. And I used to love the shells the mussel shells, and I got one and I decided I was going to call it Mickey Shin. I have no idea what was wrong with me as a child. And I went, this is Mickey Shin. And literally, Mickey Shin, the mussel shell, was like, I took it everywhere. I slept holding it. I took it everywhere with me. But I didn't realise.
You had a pet shell.
But I didn't realise, because mussel shells go a bit manky and rotten and whatever.
Yeah.
My parents would often swap out Mickey Shin without me realising. But I had a mussel shell called Mickey Shin. And I had 2 baby dolls, one called Armless and one called Jesus Billy.
You had a knack for naming, didn't you?
No, which is why Esme is called Esme. No, yeah. So I had Mickey.
She's got one arm.
I had Mickey Shin, Armless, and Jesus Billy.
Jesus Billy.
I have no idea why
That's
I called
impressive.
it Jesus Billy.
So,
but I that's the thing. I had since I was a kid, I would collect strange things.
So, segue and tangent, because that's what I do and that's what we do.
On a segue.
How old were you when you realised that when you eat mussels, you're supposed to take the mussel out the first one and then use the shells as little grippers to eat the rest?
Is that how evolution intended it?
That's the best way, isn't it? Because they're literally little
I haven't
grippers.
had a mussel since I was about 4.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah, because my dad got bad food poisoning from a set, and as a fellow person who's terrified of sickness and nausea and everything attached to that, instantly I was like, right, well, I'm not having that. I haven't had them since.
Oh, you're missing out. Moules frites. So mussels and fries.
I'd love to.
Go to a French bistro, get moules frites in a cream and garlic sauce.
Oh,
honestly,
I'd
absolutely
love to.
delicious.
But
Because you have all of the mussels, and then you've just got garlic cream in the bottom.
That sounds so
with
good.
with the cooking liquor, and then you dump the rest of the fries in, so it soaks it all up.
That sounds amazing.
I mean,
I'm
salivating now.
I know, I'm really hungry.
I'm so hungry.
I'm significantly less funny about food and stuff now. So I have sushi and stuff, which is raw fish. So it should be fine. But yeah, so Mickey Shin, that's part of my life that you never knew about.
Cool.
But yeah, so you wouldn't collect anything then?
Not really.
No.
Books.
Yeah,
but
well,
that's
can't
kind of
help
a bit
but
lame,
collect
isn't it?
books,
Yeah. I mean, don't get us wrong. I've got a shed full of tools and all sorts of stuff that I don't necessarily want to get rid of, but I don't go out of my way to collect them.
See, I collected as a kid. I collected creepy China dolls. I had the whole 6 Wives of Henry VIII, and I had really creepy ones. You know the ones that you see in Beamish and stuff that stare at you, or those really haunted ones in antique centres and whatever. I had loads of those. And every time I had a family member who had to stay at our house and they had to sleep in my room, they were absolutely terrified because I had loads of creepy dolls. I don't know why. I just like things like that. Weird stuff.
Fair enough. I mean, why not? Do you still have them?
No. I've also collected hundreds of rubber ducks, which is another one.
And where are they all?
I don't know. They've just, throughout my life, they just would probably get binned, to be fair. I'm probably the reason there's a global warming crisis.
Hang on. You can't really collect them if you don't have them now. A collection implies that you've still got it.
Well, no, I'd have the collection for a bit. Not a bit. I'd have it for a few years and then go.
So how would you display the rubber duckies? Are they all lined up along the back?
I had them all along shelf.
Did you?
Yeah, in order of size.
It would have been great if you just started slowly putting them all around the house.
I had a Scottish one that had a big Grenadier Guard style hat and a bagpipes.
My stepmom, on my dad's side, they've just renovated their house, and she's got all of these little mice all over, doing little things, little fancy mice doing all sorts of things all over the house.
That's cute.
Everywhere you look, every time you go down, you see different mice doing different things.
I like collectors. I've always admired people who collect things. I don't know why. I love the fact that there's grown adults that collect Barbies or collect, I don't know, teddies or whatever. Not that it's my thing, but I just like the fact that there's people who have dedicated their whole lives to having their own little collection.
Hey, can you ever understand the idea of buying a toy and then not opening it?
No. Even I have Funko Pops, 2 of them are there. They come straight out the box. Because what's the point? Life is about just enjoying the thing and putting it out there. And what's the point of keeping something in a box forever just so it's more valuable? You may as well just go set up a bank account somewhere and put some money in it.
It's why some real high-end exotic cars, it's always a bit of a shame because They do all of this development. They do all of this research. They create this most amazing driving machine. And then 90% of them are just bought and shoved in a private garage somewhere to appreciate in value and never get used. And you just think it's so sad because the whole purpose of them is to be driven.
Just put the money in a bank account and watch the interest go up. Like, I think
sometimes these cars appreciate way better.
But what's your opinion on, to go off that point, what's your opinion on saving things for best?
What do you mean? Sorry.
So, like, there was always this thing from years ago, I suppose. It was like a thing that you have, like, your nice stuff that you save for special occasions, like nice outfits or nice plates or nice tablecloths or nice cutlery or nice mugs or the nice stuff, nice chocolate, nice things that you, or like candles.
I have a nice
things you save for best.
I have a nice suit because everybody needs to have a nice suit. I've got a pair of shoes that goes with that suit, sorted. I have a nice watch that I bought when I got some redundancy money. So I've got like a nice Tiger watch that I will sometimes wear, and I will tend to wear it for a few weeks at a time. Not for any special occasions, just because I fancy a change. But then I realised that actually I always just prefer the little crappy smartwatch that I've got, because that gives me everything I need from a watch and more. You know, it gives me the date and the time, and I can see certain things, and it can measure my steps.
Do you ever save stuff because it's nice?
No.
And you think, oh, I can't possibly use that because it's too nice.
No, not really.
Because I'm all about just using stuff, like burn the nice candle, wear the nice clothes, do the nice things, because that's what life's about.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't have things that are being saved just in case.
But so like, what, you know, when you watch TV shows, I know we've been talking a while, but you know when you watch TV shows and something sticks with you and you go, oh God, I can't unthink that. Have you seen The Man on the Inside?
No.
You'd love it. It's on Netflix. It's brilliant. But there's a scene where there's a person who lives in a retirement home who is like a rebellious older person or whatever, and she buys a massage chair with, like, she gets like a bit of money, like one of those really expensive ones that you sit in. It's like the one you see at the airport almost.
Yeah.
She buys one of those and she sits in it and she said, oh, I've wanted one of these for like 20 years, or like my whole life I've always wanted one of these. And then she sits in it and she goes, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I just buy it? And then she dies, and you're like, oh, like, and then I was there going, right, I need to do all the things. All the things that I thought, oh, I won't buy that because I won't do this. Like, buy the damn thing, eat the damn thing.
Yeah, I think do the damn
watch
thing.
Watch the damn thing.
I'm not a 100% advocate of the whole YOLO attitude, because you need to have some sense and sensibility behind, you know, future planning and planning to be alive for 80 years on this planet.
But there's people.
But at the same time, make time to do the things that you want to do now, because you might not be here. So I think there needs to be a balance, and you need to sit there and try new things, have a bucket list, make the time, put the money to one side if you can, to go and explore the things, and do things that don't take money. You can try things that don't take money. Like, if anybody out there is feeling creative and they've never thought, they've got an idea for a book, but they've thought, oh, I could never write a book. Just start writing. It doesn't matter what you're doing it on. Do it on billets of paper. Do it on a little notebook.
At least you say you've done it. Just
start writing. Yeah, I think there would be nothing worse than getting to your deathbed and saying, I just wish I tried. Because you can always try. I would much rather get to that. Sorry, I would much rather get to my deathbed and go, I might have failed a lot of times, but at least I gave it a go every time. So, you know, I might have been really shit at golf because I wanted to be a professional golfer. I might have failed, but at least I tried, and I realized I'm shit at golf. By the way, I have never done golf, and I never want to do. But that's just an example.
No, but the thing is as well is that I always think when you see people who are dying or have some sort of premature terminal illness or whatever it may be, and they know they've got a few months left or whatever, and that's my biggest fear, is that feeling of, oh God, you know, because every single person you see that is in that position goes, I wish I'd done this, or I wish I'd, and they suddenly live life like to the absolute fullest because they're going to get everything out of it. And I think that there's a feeling like you have to have that sort of, you have to be in a position where you know it's not going to last forever to really understand what you need to do now. So, like, I have my boring bucket list.
So question for you.
Mm-hmm.
In that vein, okay, so if you decide that actually you are going to make sure you spend some time every year of your life doing those things that you really wanted to do, that you would look back on and go, I wish I had, okay? But you have Esme, 3, going to be 4 this year, okay?
4 next year.
4 next year, whatever. When was her birthday?
30th of January.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Anyway, so you've got Esme. So Esme, by her very presence and existence, will in some ways limit some of the things you might want to do.
True.
Kind
Kind
of. Like, no, just
The younger she is, yes.
practically, just in terms of if you want to travel, see things, do things. You know what I mean? So, would you countenance, or would you think it would be acceptable for you to leave Esme with your grandparents for 2 or 3 days while you go off and do something that you've always wanted to do? Is that something you could do?
Yeah.
Good. Well, that was
No, it is.
good. Good. I think you should. I think you should then do it.
But I think
what's stopping you?
But then what gets in the way is the other things of, because Esme's grandparents look after her when, you know, I do get that break for a weekend, or I need time to get my head down and do some of the housework, or get my head down and do some work. It's all about getting my head down. It's not, I want you to look after Esme so I can go and I'm trying to think of something off my bucket list, go and learn a particular type of knitting. I haven't got that on my list. I'm just making it up as I go along. But can you look after Esme so I can go off and do this thing? Like, that's not something that ever fits into my head. But at the same time, like, there's things on my list that previously I'd have gone, oh, that's a big deal, I couldn't possibly do that, that's like a thing that's distant on the list. And now I look at it and go, I could do that on Wednesday.
Like what?
Well, like, one of them is make my own pasta.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
I could do that. It's basically flour, eggs, and a bit of water.
Yes.
Probably. Other one is get my nose pierced. Get more piercings in my ears. Put holes in my face, basically. And actually, I could just do that. Why am I dicking about having it on a list? I could just go do it.
Yeah, why not just make an appointment next week and go and get it done?
And you don't need an appointment, you just walk in.
Well, just go and do it then.
I know. Well, that's the thing.
Just bloody do it.
That's the thing. So it's that thing where it's like there's stuff on my not bucket list as in like go skydiving. This is a boring bucket list. This is everyday
your
stuff.
boring bucket list, I think, is something everyone should have.
I feel like we should save that for the next episode and I will run through it.
Okay.
Because, and we're 40 minutes in.
Okay, well, we better stop.
And you haven't even said if you're thriving or surviving. We've just been talking.
Well, we should probably wrap it up there.
Chat and shizzle.
I'm thriving. I'm always thriving. So, you know. Although, yeah. But,
sorry, I was checking my phone while you were saying that.
Maybe more surviving than thriving, but we'll get to that next week. We'll get to it next week. It's fine. It's fine. This is episode 8.
Oh my God.
It's okay.
We've gone through 7 episodes where you're thriving and you're finally surviving. What has happened?
It's not really been much of a week. We had it was a bank holiday weekend.
Oh, is that it?
We didn't really do a lot.
Oh, okay.
So let's go with thriving, and then we'll get on it next week.
No, I'm worried. # we worry about Martin.
No. Do you want to give us an outro?
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Right?
I'm so excited. I thought you were being a dog.
No.